What's up, everybody? The first official Raven Reviews. I am Headless Nut Stark. Over here is my partner in crime, Ryan Milky. What is up, my friend?
Caw.
Let's do it. Let's get some calls in the chat.
Milky, Headless, come together. Raven Reviews. Let's do this. What a way to start. Episode 2 of The Last of Us.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive into this thing. So what this is, if you're confused, we have decided to join forces on any live that is typically not on Monday or Sundays that are on our own individual channels. Any other live we do, it will be through Raven Reviews. And right now we are being streamed on both of our channels. So smash that like on both channels if you don't mind. And yeah, we're going to see how this goes. We're excited to try something a little bit different. And yeah, so I'm just glad that we were able to do this. And we've been doing this together now for about 6 months. This is now the 4th show we're reviewing together. And we kind of just wanted to kind of blend the two brands into one. So this is what we've come up with. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we're going to break down The Last of Us, episode 2, the inaugural episode that brings us the clickers. I loved it, dude, because I was just streaming this game the other day and I ran into my first set of clickers. So it was pretty cool. Like as soon as that noise happened, I'm like, clickers.
And how close was it to the game? Because you wear a headset. You wear a headset, right?
During the game.
Yeah, when you game, so you have everything in your ears the way you should game. You should never game with mono audio. You should always have headphones. Did it sound the same?
Oh, yeah, I think they did a great job. I mean, I thought they looked great. I guess I was confused because in the game, I kept turning my flashlight off when I cropped up these things. But apparently, flashlights don't matter because Joel Lilly shines that flashlight right at him. I'm like, okay, so maybe I don't need to do that in the game anymore because I guess they don't see, right?
But then it's under his chin and it's in the little, and it attracts it to come closer because it's in. You remember when it's on his chin?
Yeah.
And so I think direct light might blind, but maybe.
But he doesn't come around the corner at Joel either, though. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe he didn't even see him because he literally turns and shines that flashlight right at his face and then turns back. So I think that they're blind. That's because they have like all that fungus growing or whatever else on their head.
Yeah.
So
it's
I don't
cool.
know.
But we just jumped right to the thingy.
Yeah, I know, right? We just jumped to like the best part of the episode.
Debatable. The clickers can't see. Yeah, it's sound.
So PDX says that they cannot see, and that's how I kind of figured because, yeah, that's cool, dude. Let's do a quick hey, Christina Payne, thanks for being here. Funko PDX. Let's chat with veterans. They are live as well, so head over there and slap a like on their channel.
And the link is pinned at the top of my chat on my channel, so you can go over there. You can get the link. Make sure you go over there, like and subscribe. Like we said earlier, this Raven Reviews is going to continue throughout other series that we do, and sometimes they're not going to be on a Sunday. The first inaugural one that I wanted to do was just to say thank you to Let's Chat and all that kind of stuff, because usually I'm over there on a Sunday modding. And yeah, so when we've done with the Last of Us stuff, that's where I'll be on Sunday nights. So I just wanted to give them a shout out on the first episode.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I think I missed Johnny Funko. There he is. And LJ, he came in, he's leaving, he's gonna watch the episode now. All right, so let's break this thing down a little bit. First off, did you think the episode was on par with the first episode?
No, it was better.
You thought this one was better? Okay.
This one put me more into the memories of the game when it was just me and Ellie playing. When you go through the storyline, the beginning bit was a bit chaos because it was introducing a lot of stuff. Yeah,
and I love the way they started the episode. We went back into 2000. I guess it's 2003 in the TV series. Remember, it's 2013 is when all this take place, or I guess when the affection started in the game. But they're trying to make it more with like going along with 2023 since that's where we are. But yeah, so the opening scene was fantastic. I thought. I love how they went back. I'm glad it wasn't just like 2 minutes. It was literally like 10 minutes. and I really, really enjoyed it. And at least we got a little bit of a backstory. I mean, we still don't quite know how it all happened, with this fungus and infecting people. But I think it was pretty cool to get a little more details. I'm hoping they do this every episode, or at least a few more episodes in season 1. Like, I don't want it to just like not go back to the past at all. So I hope that continues. Now, is that in the game? Did they do any kind of flashbacks like that? I'm assuming probably not.
I genuinely don't remember. I was watching this episode today, and I was like, I don't even recognize any of the things anymore. It's been that long since I played video games, so I'm kind of like a new viewer as it is. I know I've played it, but I just don't have the memory.
Yeah, I would imagine they probably wouldn't.
Yeah, no, they don't. It says PDX.
Okay, there you go. I'd imagine they probably didn't, because it's more of a first person type game, and even though I know it's not first person point of view, but it's close.
Hey, son.
What's up, Simon? How you doing? So I don't know her name, the scientist or whatever, but she kind of goes in and she's looking at this body. Dude, it was creepy, dude. She slices open like the little ankle there where the bite was, and I don't even know
if this was a human bite.
Yeah, and I don't know what we're even looking at at that time. Like, it was so odd. Like, I'm like, what's in there? So it's really interesting, because like we did see in episode 1, we kind of saw like little fungus come out of their mouth. We get to see more of that.
More.
Yeah, we get to see a lot more of that this episode.
BK Phipps, welcome in. Thank you. BK Phipps says Professor telling them to bomb the city to stop it. Sad moment, but one way to slow it.
Yep.
Yeah, my first note, Chinese woman says bomb the city. Oh my God, wow.
Yeah. See, I want to know. I just hope they go back and show us, like, did they actually attempt to do this, or were they like, no, we got this? Got to be something else to do. That's
no,
what they did do it.
Well, she comes out later in the episode, and there's a massive hole, and she goes, "Is this where the bombs hit?" And she said, "Yeah, this was one of the cities that they attacked. They bombed the city. That's why it's all destroyed."
Well, yeah, but they were back in Indonesia at this point. So you're just thinking they bombed everybody? Like, I understand there's probably was some bombs, but I want to know back in Indonesia in 2003, I want to know if they actually did decide to go bomb right there and then, or were like, well, let's hold off and try to find those 14 people, and maybe that's what helped the spread. Because obviously,
I think the story will continue to tell over time. If you remember, this show is made by the people that did Chernobyl, and that's it's the same storytelling. You get more information as you go through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get that they bombed the cities. That's why they look like garbage. But what I want to know is, did they actually bomb the Indonesia area first, or did they like decide not to do that? That's where I was hoping we were going to get the answer to. But they flash forward after the the opening scene. But yeah, I mean, everyone in the chat saying that they did bomb. Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying again, did they bomb right away to stop the spread in Indonesia, or did they delay that in the hopes of maybe finding these other people, and that's what helped spread it the way it is? Because you think that they would have bombed right away, they may have at least slowed the spread. But again, that was also 20 years ago, so who knows? But yeah, I'm just interested. I like that. I always like when they do that, because that was one of the biggest flaws in Walking Dead, is that they didn't do after that first episode that was so good. We hardly ever go back to the past unless it's just for character development, and we don't really ever get to see what happens with this, like why the zombie apocalypse happened. And these little flashbacks, although they may not be in the game, I think it really helps the show. And I enjoyed that just as much as watching them fight the clickers. Like, I really like that opening episode, or the opening scene.
Yeah, BK says probably not, since it ended up everywhere else, so they probably didn't bomb it straight away.
Yeah,
ended everywhere else.
Yeah, because then
Phoenix is at the first place in the world that got infected. So I'm guessing so with the way they're telling us the story.
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Why would they pick Indonesia out of nowhere like that? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens with that. So then we have our credits, or not our credits, but our opening credits, like we call them.
Thank you, HBO. You are the gods of intros.
It's so good, isn't it? So good.
If an intro has the fuzzy TV HBO thing before it, it's going to be fire.
Yeah, it's just they do such a good job with their openings. I mean,
# not sponsored yet by HBO.
Yes, HBO. give us a call. So let's see. I did take a few notes. So we open up, then we see Joel and Tess, and they kind of have a gun pointed at Ellie as she's like sitting there sleeping. So you can tell that they're both not very convinced.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not convinced yet that she's not actually infected. I get it. I would be too. And at this
They're used to
point,
seeing everybody die after they get bit, so
exactly. And at this point, I don't know if they really connected the dots that she is like immune to the bites or whatever. Because I know we kind of do find out a little more information about that in this episode. But I think at this point, they really don't. I don't think they really truly understand. I feel like maybe Tess does to a point, but I don't think Joel does. I mean, it did seem like Tess maybe did kind of understand a little bit. What do you think? Or do you think they were just both didn't understand?
I don't think both of them understand it, but I think with the outcome of the episode, we were led down that path that we wanted to care for her more this episode than Joel.
Yeah. And then it was funny because I did write down Twitch because
I did too.
They go and don't go around like twitching and stuff, and then she starts going like like that.
Yeah,
those kind of things.
I have Ellie wakes up in a patch of grass and flowers with flowers inside in the side of building being watched over Joel and Tess. She explains that she's a cure and they need to deliver her for the battery.
Yep.
Pretends to be a scrib. I don't know why I put scrib, but I was trying to think of the name of a zombie that wasn't a zombie. Pretends to be a scrib. I love that she uses foul language. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing. She's so good in this role. I mean, my gosh, talk about just perfect casting. It's just she's got attitude.
What can you say?
I mean, when you're in Game of Thrones,
I've been preaching the gospel of Game of Thrones since it's been out. People think it might be annoying, but it's fact. All these people that everybody loves in all these films and all these shows were all in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And then they're having their little meal, which looked like it reminded me of Willow, the original Willow, and he's eating the bark. And that what is it called? Black root? Eat my black fruit. Yes, we always go back to Willow at some point. And then they're eating their bark, and then she whips out her freaking chicken sandwich, dude. I mean, like where's this from? Like, where did this come from all of a sudden? So I thought that was funny. Yes, and BK says, I can't believe she didn't share the chicken sandwich. Unbelievable.
I wouldn't share the chicken sandwich. Don't get stuck in an apocalypse with me because I ain't sharing.
And then I liked it funny. It was funny too because then as they get up and start leaving because it's now at this point it's now daylight, and she goes, "Can I get a gun?" And they're like, "Yeah, no." And she's like, "I guess I'll just throw my chicken sandwich at him." I thought that was funny. I thought we had some pretty good funny little lines in this one. I thought it was pretty good. Gonna check up on absolutely, man. Just rewatch it.
And again, everybody listening, please check out Let's Chat with Veterans, linked at the top of the chat. But yeah, thanks guys, thanks for stopping in. And BK says, "Oh, what character did Ellie play on Game of Thrones? Was she the young queen? I knew she looked familiar." She was indeed. She was Lyanna Mormont. Is it Lyanna Mormont or Lyanna Mormont?
Lyanna.
Okay, Lyanna
Mormont. Queen. She's the one who
rallies the men to the King of the North.
Yeah, she's the one who led the Mormonts, and I think we talked about this before. I think she ended up being the niece, I think, of Jorah. I think that's the way it worked out, because I know we looked at it. So, yeah, what's up, Carolina, Chris? Dude, I'm one of these days I'm going to check out your live, dude. But dude, I have a 60-inch TV, and it's just hard for me to want to watch it on a computer, But yeah, I'm definitely going to check out one of your lives one of these days. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Carolina Chris, he actually runs a live video of the episode and to do instant reactions during the episode. So definitely check out his channel as well. But yeah, so they're heading out, and as they're walking, they're talking a little bit, and we find out that Ellie is actually an orphan, and so she doesn't even know who her parents are. And we find out she's also 14 years old, and she we find out that her first bite was from I guess she snuck into a mall is what I got out of this.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it sounded like maybe she was with more people, which we may
I
find
was
out.
just about to pause you and say, rewind. Did you really fall for that?
Yeah, no, I put supposedly in quotes that she was by
Liberty.
herself, and I think it definitely means that she was
No.
probably with other people.
Her facial expression gave the fact away that she was lying.
Yeah, yep. So I think we'll definitely find out more about that as the series goes on.
And in this exact conversation, they also drop a line which is very haunting if you know what's coming. They said they hear a noise and then they talk about split open head zombies that stay in the dark.
Mm.
And as soon as I heard that, I was like, "Ooh, are we gonna get clickers in episode 2?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. And then I think did they I think it's a hotel they enter because they kind of play around with trying to get a room, but the hotel is completely trashed, flooded. Ellie makes mention that she can't swim. Again, part of me is like, is that just like her just trying to like dupe them a little bit, or is this like something that will come up later that she really can't swim? I don't know. It was kind of an interesting line for me in right there because I mean, first of all, the water couldn't have been that deep. But again, I don't know because I'm not that far in the game, so I don't know if it ends up coming up or not. But I thought again, the hotel was great looking. I mean, they really tore it apart. I'd love to know, like, sometimes I'd love to know how the set is built. Like, I don't think it's green screen. I just don't see how it could be. But man, it looks great. It looks like it literally coming right out of the video game. Especially when they lift Tess or when Joel lifts Tess up on that board. I'm like, oh, I did that last week in the game. Like we just lifted her up, and then she disappears for a few minutes. But it's like straight out of the game. It's fantastic.
That's why the critics aren't wrong when they say this is going to be the best video game to TV adaptation ever.
Yeah, I mean it was. I thought it was really, really, really well done.
And they can't mess it up because the story's already there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, we have the story. Now I
want to question though, if this like virus or whatever it is taking over human beings, how the hell can ducks survive, and how the hell can we have piano playing frogs still alive?
Piano playing frogs.
Did you not hear it? It was. I was waiting for it to kick into like Mozart Fifth Symphony. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. I mean, are they just not attacking small animals? I don't know.
Yeah, and welcome to Raven Reviews, guys, where Headless gives you the important questions and I point out the really obvious stuff that nobody really talks about.
The Mozart playing frogs.
Yeah, the Mozart playing frogs.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a great question. That might be a question for some AI or something.
Mm.
You're right though, because like even think Walking Dead, every so often you see some animals. I mean, not very often, but at least we see a deer. Like, how is this deer still alive? You know, I mean, dog made it all the way through the whole entire series.
Like, imagine a clicker dog. We'd all be doomed.
Yeah, we don't see enough animals as like these zombie guys or whatever. That's what we need. We need more of that in our life. Even though that's always the sad part of it. But
is there a TV show with infected animals like that? Like that only attack humans? Maybe that's a good idea for a company.
I know there was something called like, was it Zoo? I think it was literally called Zoo, and I want to say there's another one too. But
okay, check them out. So yeah, let's keep going. I have.
Yeah. So after let's see what I got here.
The ducks and the swimming.
Oh, okay. Well, and also don't forget, I want to mention this because when they were in the hotel, Tess does mention that somehow. Well, this is when they're outside. So they leave the hotel and they're outside. They're trying to like get to their destination, whatever. I think they're trying to get to the Firefly camp or whatever it is, and Tess makes mention because they look over like this ledge. And you see a ton of the infected on the ground there, and you can see like all the fungus and vines and all that, whatever ends up making them grow or whatever. I guess it's the fungus, but she makes mention that the fungus is actually connected with all of them. Now, I don't know, Brian, did you watch the after show, like the little after show thing preview?
No.
Okay, so. What the creators had said is that because they didn't want to go with the spores in the air, because they felt like in a video game you could
Everyone would have to wear a mask.
that was part of it, but they also said that in a video game you can get away with that. They said though they had a hard time thinking in real life the spores would just kind of huddle up and stay in one area and it wouldn't spread in throughout the air. So they said that's why they decided to do this vine or fungus system in the ground. So they know when something else happens to another one of them. And we'll kind of see that later play. But I thought that was interesting. I'm glad they talked about that at the end of the episode. Because it's always, in essence, it's kind of like the spores to a point. You just don't get affected right away. They actually come for you.
It's just not airborne.
It's just not airborne. It's more, but like there is like an underground like system. Kind of
life source connected.
Kind of think like Avatar almost. Like in Avatar, everything is kind of linked together in nature. Where everything kind of feels and knows what's happening. This is very similar to that, actually. So, I'm glad they explained it because I was like, wow, that's pretty convenient that they're doing that. But they kind of took that and did that instead of the spores. So, they decide they're going to head around and they head over to to me what looked like a museum, I guess, and they kind of find they find a dead body and he looks like he's like got smashed, like his head got smashed. And, Ellie even makes a reference saying that, well, I didn't see them do that, when she got
bitten by one. Yeah, that didn't do that.
But they didn't do that. So they were kind of like, she was kind of confused.
Again, clicker vibes, clickers.
Yep.
Hive mind.
Chris is saying it's called hive minds.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just reading the chat here. Yeah, I think that makes sense if you've seen Avatar. Yeah. All right. So now we get to the good stuff, right? So we get to see the clickers in the museum, and this is literally
did you get Arya vibes down in the thingy hiding from the White Walkers in the library?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Arya Stark hiding from the White Walkers in the library was exactly the same thing.
Yeah, they were hiding, and it took me right back to like the game. A part of the game I was just playing the other day. Like that's exactly what was happening. And there's one clicker, and then all of a sudden there's two clickers, and I just thought they looked great. I mean, this thing I said, as soon as you hear that sound, like you just knew. Yeah, like you just knew. And that's the cool thing about playing that game, and that's why I'm kind of glad I just started, because if I would not have played it, I probably wouldn't have even known what the noise meant. I would have thought it was not good, but it was pretty cool to know what was coming. So
I think as a gamer and a lover of TV and movies, this can only do good for both genres, because I know there's a lot of people that play video games, but there's still a stigma attached to it that it's like lazy people and stuff like that. I think that people that really enjoy this show should go and give the game a try if they have an opportunity. If you've never played games before, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think it will bring a lot more eyes to gaming in that sense. And it can only do good things, because then more developers might contact gaming companies and say, look, we've got a really good story that in 10 years we want to turn into a show. But right now we want to give you the game right, Yeah. How cool would that be?
I mean, that at least with these games, at least the stories are like just not a rehash of something. And then that's what I think a lot of people who don't play games don't understand. Is they think, oh, you just click some buttons and beat some stuff and do this and do that. But like in this game, the storyline is so detailed, and I'm barely even into the game, and I'm already like drawn in,
Yeah.
And I just think right now everything we've seen on screen is almost straight from the game for the most part. I mean, there's obviously a couple parts here and there.
And I believe you, because I know you can't shoot for straight, so the storyline's got to keep you there.
And I kept yelling on TV, like, you got to aim for the head. Why are you shooting him in the chest? They ain't going to do anything. And then I'm yelling, get out your shiv. Get out the shiv. He didn't have a shiv on him, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was waiting for Ellie to do something because she was playing with the knife, and I thought that would have been the shiv.
Dude, I thought for sure she was busting out that knife. Like, well, yeah, that was weird. Nothing happened. Yeah, Days Gone. I've never see another one I've never played at all. Days Gone.
Yeah, so as we're hiding, we spoke a little bit earlier how the clickers were blind because Joel had a flashlight,
Mm-hmm.
and he flashes it in his eye, and this clicker walks past, and then he sneaks around, gets Ellie, and then he steps on some glass. And I don't know about anybody else, but I literally wrote down, where is it? Homage to the raptors in Jurassic Park. Scary stuff, man. I got raptors in Jurassic Park scene. You know when the kids are hiding and they've got in the kitchen. I got goosebumps when I was watching it because the clickers were so good.
And I'll tell you what was really, really good about it is that it was dark enough to understand to make it scary and to know, there's no light, whatever, but it was not dark enough where you couldn't see what was going on. Because the clickers look so good.
Battle of Winterfell.
Right. I mean, I had no problem seeing exactly what was going on, but it was still dark enough and creepy enough to make it so good. But yeah, I absolutely. That scene was amazing.
Did you get Jurassic Park vibes?
Oh yeah, Jurassic Park, the White Walker thing, like you said. Yeah, all those types of vibes with trying to hide and you're hiding for your life. It was really good.
Yeah, I literally put, and then I put in brackets, she shits her pants. Oh my god, I'm laughing my head off.
Yeah.
She said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just shit my pants." HBO got the formula. Yes, Caroline and Chris, I'm going to put that on screen, and I'm going to store your comment. Congratulations.
Yep. Yeah, that is correct. HBO knows what they're doing. That's for sure. So after they finally take out the clickers, we find out that Ellie has been bitten again, and she makes a comment. She's like, "Well, at least if it's going to happen to one of us, at least it was me." And you could tell that Joel and Tess were very nervous about that because you're like, "Well, what happens if you get bit twice? Is she still immune or what?" So again, an interesting little plot twist that they actually had her get bit again. So knowing that this is probably not going to be the only 2 times, she could probably use that as a, to help somebody, she knowing that she's not going to get infected, but we'll see. We also find out that Tess twisted her ankle. So they kind of wrap it up with some tape or whatever. And then we head off and we find the truck that they're looking for, the Firefly truck. But everything's empty. There's nothing in the back. There's no drivers. We do find another dead body. And then we also see that there is blood leading up to another. Again, I'm not even sure what it was. It almost looked like a giant museum hall, like the open, you'd walk right in, and I'm not sure exactly what that place was supposed to be, but what did you think when you got to the truck and there's no one there?
Yeah, I didn't know. I just added my comments through the city to the yellow building before it gets dark. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that because we had a straight view to where they needed to be.
Right.
I wish there was something in the way because it just looked too easy to get to it.
Yeah, they went around and they fought the clickers and stuff, but then all of a sudden they were there
because they came out of the top of the building, went across the roof, and then down the ladder. And I thought, okay, but yeah, we went into this building, the yellow building, and there was nobody in the truck. I thought, what's going on?
Yeah,
strange. We went inside and everyone was dead.
Yep, and then they head inside. Everyone in there is dead or has been shot in the head. So they know that some of them probably got bit, and they ended up just killing them. So once they're inside, we find out that that Tess wants to find a radio. So they kind of get in a little argument, Joel and Tess. Joel is like, "Listen, no one's here. I want to head back. Let's go back." And Tess is like, "No, I'm just gonna stay here just in case people show up." And Detective Ellie figures out that she thinks Tess has been bit. That's why she wants to stay. And lo and behold, we do find out that Tess was bit in the neck, and it's already growing. And so they ask Ellie to show her arm, and literally there's nothing else there. I'm trying to read here. The broken ladder was a real...
reminiscent of a part I played in the second game in the other day when Ellie and Dina were going from point A to B. Okay. Okay. I never played the second one.
Yeah.
I've played the final part of the second one. I know how it ends.
Okay. But yeah, so we find out that she gets bit, and I was kind of sad. I was kind of glad. I wasn't sure how I was feeling. I was like,
I thought it was the foot.
you thought it was what?
The foot, because they emphasized the ankle.
Oh, well, she said they did say she twisted it, but you thought you? So you knew that she was bit though, right? Already, like
Yeah,
you pretty much knew. So I had no idea. I kind of figured. Again, in the game, I'm not up to this point yet where this happens, but I kind of figured that she wasn't going to be around the entire series. I didn't think she'd be killed off already in episode 2, though. But I think the main part of the story is just Joel and Ellie. So
Joel and Ellie.
yeah.
I thought the foot was where she was bit. I thought they were emphasized the foot earlier, and it was going to be a payoff, but it wasn't.
Yeah. But then we see one of the infected moves. Joel kills him, and then that basically triggers the whole underground fungus community, or whatever you want to call it. And then all of a sudden, all the runners we saw, or all the infected that we saw earlier in the episode, when they were all in that little almost like underpass, they all kind of start getting up, and they're like, we gotta go get these guys. So it's funny how it's all linked like that, and they all come storming into the hideout or whatever. And yeah.
You know when they woke up? Do you want to know what I did?
What'd you do?
I stood up and pretended to be the Night King, and I raised my arms like this. Honestly, I'm not joking you. Next time I do it, if we ever see the scene again, I'll try and get it for a short. But yeah, I raised the fungus army. I just loved it. Great how they all came running.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. It's funny. We'll get to the last part here in a second. You'll find out eventually. I'm trying to remember what I said. What am I going to find out about? Remind me.
About Tess.
Oh, about Tess. Okay. Yeah. So Tess then ends up staying. Joel, and it's funny, Joel, I always wondered if they were together, if they were just friends, because he books out of there. He's like, listen, I ain't got time for this. I mean, I guess he knows, and it has been 20 years since this whole thing started, so I'm sure he's lost people along the way. But
yeah, she pours gasoline all over the place. She throws grenades down.
Yep.
She's like, you better leave.
Yep. He just books out of there with Ellie, and Ellie wants to stay more for Tess than Joel did. So you can tell he is really.
And that paid back to earlier on in the episode where she said, "Oh, you heard that? Well, then you heard he wants to shoot you, and I'm the one talking to you right now."
Yeah.
So it was a payback from the very first sentence that they spoke.
Yeah, and it's really. I think it really shows too that really what Joel has suffered with his daughter, and then whatever else has gone on over the last 20 years. I think it just really shows that his emotion toward other people just is not very. Yeah, he almost is like just in survival mode for himself. That's all he really cares about right now. Just because he suffered so much loss, and I think in his back of his mind, he's just like Tess was just another casualty, and eventually all this kind of stuff is going to end up happening anyways.
So let's see how quick your feelings on Joel on that exact statement change in the next 12 episodes. Season 2, all he cares about is him, but episode 2, I think you'll see later on how he really cares for Ellie.
Yeah, and I kind of understand that. I feel like that's where it's going. I just feel like at this point in time, I think that's that's what the whole point of they're trying to show with Joe is that he's just I need to survive, and this is what I need to do. And he does still wants to find his brother too.
I have in my notes, Joel takes Ellie and leaves Tess in the yellow building with the infected at the door.
Yep. And we see the infected come in, and we see Tess trying to flick the light, and all the infected are kind of just running right by her. She's up against a pillar or something, and they're just running by her, and then all of a sudden one young gentleman stops and sees her. It looked like his eyes weren't completely covered, so maybe that's why. So he was able to see her, and they get a little hot and heavy. I'll be honest with you. We get this
almost made me.
We get the little stringies. Like he just stands there, dude. Like, what is that?
I was eating Chinese noodles with bean sprouts for dinner.
Dude, it's so gross. It really is.
It's the same consistency, and I was eating noodles for dinner. I was like, oh no. I wrote in my session, so yeah. What happens before I tell you what I wrote? Because it kind of gives it away.
Well, no, it's just why is she just standing there, dude? Push him away. Why are you gonna throw that shit down your throat?
She's gonna die anyway.
I know, dude. But what, you want that in your throat still? Like, just push him away. Like, you can't just let a dude do that, dude. It's so gross. It was really gross. But so what were you gonna say before we get to the ending here?
I can't because it gives away the ending.
Oh, so well then finish it off. Like so, Tess is getting
I said a quick make-out session, and you could say their first date went like a blast.
She lights it, drops it, everyone gets exploded. Assuming that she got everybody, because there was a lot of them that ran by, so I don't think she got all of them. But so I'm not sure what we're supposed to think right there. So
I was expecting multiple blasts because the fire would have gone boom
and then
with the gasoline, and then the grenades would have gone pop, 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 pop.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then I end my notes with, and then there were two. ... See you next week.
Yep. Yeah. First episode, I think we both. I mean, did we both give it a 10? I think we did.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't
So
say
episode 2 is 10.
I would say it's a 10 out of 10 as well. I mean, I just think it was a great continuation of where we left off at, and we got a little bit of we got a little more character development with Ellie. Really, we learned a little bit more about her. We didn't really get too much more on Joel. Again, I think I can tell where it's leading. We're leading toward him obviously starting to care about Ellie, and I'm sure he's going to have thoughts about like his daughter and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thought it was really, really good. PDX, I think there's 9 episodes, which is a weird number, I know, but I believe it's 9.
That scares me that they're going to do to be continued at the end of 9. That scares me.
Yeah, I think next
and then
week
come back with a Last of Us movie to finish it off, and that includes the story of part 2.
Yeah, I want this to go on for at least 5 seasons because I like it. As long as they
I like hearing that. That's good.
As long as they keep doing what they're doing and they don't jump the shark and turn it to Walking Dead, because that's what no one wants that. We've already had it.
The storyline is not going to do that,
and that's what's good about it because there is a storyline to follow. So even though Walking Dead did have comics, I guess they did follow it, but it just rehashed itself over and over again.
I have no idea, PDX.
Where do we think the season will end? I don't know. I'm not done with the game yet. I want a live stream, but it's getting too late for that. If I didn't have to get up in the morning, I would go play that game right now. But I just, unfortunately, it's still snowing, but we have got no phone calls, so I will stream it tomorrow if I'm off though.
Like PDX, I know you've played the game, so are you gonna hospital scene? I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, don't say too much.
I know, that's why I know you've not played. So, what do you think, PDX? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then if you didn't watch the previews for next week, then so you don't know where we're headed.
No.
Do you want me to say anything or no?
Go ahead. I'll watch it later anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, next week looks like they're going to be joining. It looks like they found another group. I don't remember the guys' names, but it looks like how hell is going to break loose there. So again, the way they show the previews reminds me a little bit of when the Walking Dead group went into the farm and met Herschel. That's kind of what it reminded me of when I'm just watching it. Just it's only like 10, 15 seconds long, but yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. Also, everybody in the chat, if you have not checked it out, PDX recreated episode 1 on his channel. He recreated it using the game. It's about 44 minutes long, and he did a really good job. It follows right along with episode 1. So if you want to check that out, check out PDX's channel.
Definitely, guys. Yeah. And if any of you watching knows of anybody that's doing cool content, reach out and let us know. I'm sure we can shout them out when we're live and stuff. So
PDX,
we're all about giving back.
I I hope you are 100% wrong, because if I was only supposed to play the game for 2 hours so far, I'm not a very good player then, because I've been on that game for about 6 hours and I haven't even seen Tess die yet. It took me an hour to get through the clickers, for Christ's sake. Ridiculous, dude. So stupid. But I did it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So 10 out of 10s. Ryan, you got anything else for this episode?
No. Keep giving me wide shots of the city.
Yep.
Keep giving me awesome music. Yeah, just love everything about it.
Yeah. So far, so good. That's for sure.
And I love that it's fulfilling my Sunday needs for TV. I kind of feel like I'm in the Game of Thrones vibe, even though as soon as I see the intro for Last of Us, I'm taken out of it. But
I just love seeing those two actors together. It's, they didn't have any scenes together on Game of Thrones, but they've been nailing.
You don't want to know Carolina Chris.
Carolina Chris, that's a big secret.
It's top secret information.
Top secret information. Yeah.
You can find out if you go back to his last live stream that he did on Friday night.
Listen,
there is a segment in there where he does go over the level difficulty, so go check it out.
Yeah. He must be on really hard. Maybe. I mean, I changed the level and beat it, so that was good. I had no chance at the level I was on. Yeah.
That's like a wound you just don't want to prod.
Yeah, listen, I play Lego Star Wars, so I was playing under hard the other day and got stuck in the same spot for over an hour and decided to switch back to moderate. So what's under moderate? Is it normal?
Yeah, then easy.
And then easy. So easy, normal, moderate, hard. Those are the 4 levels.
And then survivor.
And then survivor. So there's 5 levels. Yeah. Yeah. No comment. Anywho, I think we're done. So that was the first episode of Raven Reviews. We're about 45 minutes in. We'll be back next week at 10. Well, I don't know. I think the episode's a little longer next week. It might be like more at 10:30. I gotta see the running time. But typically about 10 to 15 minutes after the episode, we'll be on. We'll be talking about it. We'll be breaking it down. I'm hoping to stream the game later this week. Tomorrow on Ryan Mielke's channel, we'll be talking about Solo, a Star Wars story, to continue our Star Wars content. And then Tuesday is the Horseman, which I think will be streamed on your channel now as well. Yeah,
we're streaming it on everyone's channel, so everyone can find it, and it's easy accessible for everybody. But yeah, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central, hanging with the Horseman.
Yep. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, which would be 6 Central. And I'll be dropping in my next AI video, asking it a bunch of Star Wars questions. And a bunch of good questions came up tonight on the live, so if you haven't checked that out, you can go back and watch that on my channel. And we talked all about Revenge of the Sith. And I'll be dropping.
Be sure to follow Headless Ned Stark on Instagram, because he'll be posting a story update tomorrow where you'll be able to ask questions for Solo.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely do that, and I'll share it on my stories as well. So.
Yep. I'll be posting that, but I think we figured out you need to post the questions to me, since Ryan is taking the lead tomorrow. So I will be asking him the questions, but I can also answer them as well.
Yeah, he's the Star Wars expert. Yeah.
So we just kind of switch back and forth. So, when do you
stream The Last of Us?
I think I streamed it last Thursday. I think that's when I did it.
You played Friday night for me.
Oh, was it Friday night? Okay, it was Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay, so originally I was going to do it Thursday, and I changed this. I changed it to Friday. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Thursday is probably a good night to do it. It just really depends. But the plan is probably Thursday. Worst case, it'd be Friday. But yeah. So, anything else, Ryan? I think that's it.
Carolina Chris, I can send you some stuff through the Discord. So I know you don't use IG.
LJ's
just got back.
Just finished it. It was pretty good. LJ, what did you think about those clickers?
We both scored it 10 out of 10, LJ. What do you think? Took some time, but got there in the end.
Yeah, but the beginning was really good though. Like when they, when they were back in 2003. Yeah, go back and listen, because we kind of dive really deep into that part a little bit too. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. I'm excited for next week. When you watch a series like this, you really, I kind of miss sometimes when they drop the entire season at once because I just want to keep going now. It's kind of like House of the Dragon, but it also gives us a chance to kind of digest it and then talk about it each week too, which is fun. So,
yeah, I also want to let me pull something up that Umpty is. I'm going to share for Umpty Scratch. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Gus's death was harder in the game. Yeah, I got to be pretty darn close to that then. LJ says it's an 8, but it was pretty good. I always want more and more. Yeah. Well, it was a shorter episode too. Remember, this episode was almost half of as long as it was the first episode. So although we only get 9 episodes, the last week's episode was almost an hour and a half. Next week is about an hour and 20. I can look that up real quick too. I'm pretty sure it's like an hour and 20 minutes though.
Okay, so I have this to share with everybody. And it is Umpty Scratch. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. He's a fantastic guy in the community. He's doing a sticker swap, the great sticker swap of 2023. And all you're going to do is send him a new sticker design. And I think it's $15. I will clarify, but I think it's about 15 or 16 bucks, and he'll get 50 of them printed, and he'll send your new sticker out to the 50 people that are in the group. He's trying to get this filled by the 1st of February. He's got quite a few, but he's still looking to get more seats. Me and Headless are included with the Raven Reviews, so if you want to get a Raven Reviews sticker first, that's probably your best chance to join this, because I'm going to send the logo in to Umpty for this sticker, this Raven Reviews logo. So yeah, I just wanted to share that out. Please reach out to Umpty Scratch. Everyone that is involved will also be shouted out on his website. There'll be a special section where your socials will be linked and stuff. So everyone that goes over to umptyscratch.net will be able to see that you're linked and stuff. So yeah, please check it out, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this real quick. I know sometimes it's hard to see. So that's what the logo looks like right there, and it's blowing up a little bit better. So I think we're pretty proud of this. I mean, it took us a long time to create this thing and get it.
I've had a lot of good feedback. A lot of people love it.
Yeah, so we're kind of excited where this is gonna go. But yeah, so
and please let us know in the comments what you think about all the changes, and let us know about the intro. I know it's probably a little bit long at the beginning, but we'll fix that. And yeah, Three-Eyed Raven, Chris, you get it. It worked.
Yep. Yeah, we were playing around with some different names too. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Fungo? But
Mr. Fungo. Yeah, we're just getting out of here. We're pretty much done with the first ever inaugural episode of Raven Reviews. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank everybody for liking, commenting, and subscribing to both of our channels. We appreciate all of you. And this is just a start. You'll remember Raven Reviews, and you'll remember that you were here at the first ever live.
That's right. All right, guys, we appreciate you. And we don't know if we have a sign off, but we always can do
I'm not going to sit in a wheelchair and act like Bran and go, why do you think I came all this way?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.
See you later. Bye.